Greg, I know it's just one game, but given that you guys had lost some games and hadn't been shooting well, do you hope that this can spark some confidence, reestablish some things, and get them get them back on track a little bit?
Well, I mean, you hope so, Jeff. I mean, it's so you just play it one game at a time, and you have to have a short memory. You have to move on to the next. So we didn't dwell much on the last game, and we got a week here, so it's good for us to get some rest and hopefully get healthier, get some bodies back here, and But I thought we did some good things. We got one thing defensively. I thought we were really good for the most part, and got some offense out of our defense, which is a credit to our guys and how hard they played. And it was good to get down here and get this one.
Let's go to Jim Polzin.
You had a drought in the first half. Is that what you think got you going? Is the defense getting the offense going where you kind of picked up the last 8 minutes or so?
Yeah, I thought we were able to turn some offense into defense, like I mentioned. Got to the free throw line. I thought Micah gave us a boost. Johnny gave us a boost off the bench. And you just find ways to, try to be as efficient on possessions as you can. And I didn't look at the possession total. I know we're over one both halves, but the sequence of them, I'll look through that as I go through the film. So, but this team, Northwestern, had played a lot of teams tough. And I think you get caught up in looking at the record, and unless you watch their games and see how they play, you realize that they've been a handful for some teams at times. So I want to make sure we were doing the right things tonight, and I was proud of how hard our guys played and how well they played, specifically defensively.
Josh Schaefer, go ahead.
Greg, was just curious what you had seen from Trevor Gillmore in practice that made you want to give him a little bit of time. And do you have any sort of timeline that you're looking at with Trevor as far as if it's a long-term thing or if you think he'll be back sometime soon?
Trevor's day to day. Did I go muted there for a minute?
Yeah, sorry. Could you repeat that answer, Coach?
Yeah. Trevor is day to day. I just get an update each day of where he's at. So we'll see as we go through the week. Obviously, we've got some time here before the next one. In terms of Carter, he's done some good things in practice. He's been on the scout team, obviously, but given the matchups and how we were able to align somewhat with Northwestern's lineup, knowing that I was going to have to try to use an eighth guy if I could or if I needed to. And obviously with Tyler getting the 2 fouls in the first half, it helped make that come to a little faster to fruition maybe than what we had thought. But I'd used him in practice yesterday, and I just brought him over with me. I mean, he's always in practice, obviously, but he's done some good things. I think he's got a chance to be a good player here. He wasn't bashful tonight to let it fly the first time he caught it, but he's anxious. He's willing to learn and wants to really help this team.
Raul?
Hey, Greg. This seems to be the closest you guys have played a complete 40 minutes. I was curious if you thought the team took another step forward towards kind of playing a complete 40 minutes.
Yeah, I thought, you're right, Raul. Specifically defensively, as I mentioned, I thought we got a lot of good things from our defense. And we were able to get the free throw line. I thought Tyler Wall did some great things defensively, created a lot of havoc for them. And obviously Johnny Davis converted some of that into some offense on the other end. So really a great team effort. I mentioned Micah, what he gave us off the bench. And so everybody that they got on the floor did some good things.
Back to Jim Polzin.
I know you always say in terms of who you start, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of who finishes the game. With Johnny and Micah playing as well as they do you consider putting them in the starting lineup, or is there something you like about them coming off the bench?
Yeah, I like what they bring off the bench.
George Bilecki.
Greg, what is a performance like this? 5 guys scoring double digits. It was Micah and Dimitrik in the first half, other guys in the second. What does it do for the confidence as you guys go into the final stretch of the season?
Well, hopefully it helps. And obviously, anytime you can do some good things and see the ball go in, which that's been an area that we've tried to become more consistent in. You can't force that to happen. It's got to happen in the course of, I think it's the course of a game, and have it happen in a game. And We can do all the shooting drills we want and all those type of things, but for them to be able to do it in a game is the biggest step forward you need to take.
Let's take two more. Jeff Patrikas.
You mentioned defense. There's a couple plays. I'm not sure if you remember. You guys were up 7. Northwestern had the ball. Davison had that steal from pressure, and that led to a basket. And then there was a sequence where I think Tyler doubled down in the lane, had to come out to a 3-point shooter, Bowie, and got that steal, which led to Davis's basket. Can you just address those two plays? I mean, they don't stand out in the stat sheet, but how important those were tonight to your defense?
Yeah, they were. I thought Brad's energy and effort there, he just blew up a couple plays. I think Miller Kopp was involved at that point in time, that he took it from him and was able to disrupt what they were trying to do. And I thought Tyler was really active. Obviously, first half, he got the 2 fouls and put him back in just because we needed to have some fresher bodies in there, even with the 2 fouls. But he was really active the second half. He was digging balls loose and putting pressure on passers, and that's what he can do. He's got a chance to be he's a good defensive player. He's got a chance to be a really, really good player as time goes on and he gets stronger and more maturity and goes deeper into his career in this program.
Raul, go ahead with our last question.
Greg, I also wanted to ask about just kind of how you saw the team bounce back. Obviously, it kind of showed today, but last game you talked about how you kind of gauge how the team, the vibe of the team in the next day in practice. So I just wanted to ask how you saw the team bounce back.
Well, obviously the results speak for themselves, but I thought we practiced well yesterday, and this group has been resilient. And you have to be in this league. I mean, just look at this league, guys. I mean, and gals. I don't know who's all on this call. It's an unforgiving league. So if you do take one on the chin, you can't sit around and sulk about it very long, because you got somebody coming next on your schedule that can probably do the same thing to you if you're not careful. So, you just have to move on, whether you play well or don't play well, whatever, you learn from it and quickly move on to the next one.